Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Does FEMA want you to be a prepper? Do they want you to collect prepping supplies, emergency supplies, so that you can provide for yourself and your family? If you look, FEMA has an actual guideline and the prepping supply kit that they encourage everyone to have in their home.
None of us want to be dependent on the government or FEMA for our basic needs. FEMA gives you the absolute bare bones basics. They tell you to have enough supplies for 3 days. If you look at actual real emergencies that may have happened to you or you've seen on the news, 3 days is nowhere near enough time to recover from a big disaster. The first thing on your emergency list is water. We need 1 gallon of water per day per person, and you should have it for a minimum of 3 days. You aren't going to need water just for drinking. You're also going to need water for hygiene, sanitation needs, cooking, and cleaning. So make sure that you are storing as much water as you can. What happens when that water runs out? You may still have running water in your home, but it may not be safe to drink. The next category of supplies is food. You need a minimum of 3 days worth of open and eat, shelf-stable food. You want foods you can just open and eat, and you have something to sustain you no matter what. So think about things like crackers with tuna, peanut butter, open and eat, full meals, entrees like chili, ravioli, tamales, soups. Look at the packets. You can find all kinds of different packets of foods that come in shelf-stable packages. They're designed to be heated in the microwave for 60 seconds, but they're fully cooked. You don't have to heat them up. You can just tear them open and eat them. They're already prepared. You can find healthy options as well as family's favorites. Everything from rice and grains, pastas, meats. There's just a whole variety of foods that you can find in shelf-stable meals that could be heated up, but they're already fully cooked, so all you need to do is open and eat them, and these are great options. Granola bars, look for packets of dried fruits and nuts, look for dehydrated foods, look for fruit pouches, look for juices, anything you could tear open and eat. Look for things like boxes of cereal and shelf-stable milk that doesn't need to be refrigerated if cereal is something you like. You can find food for several days that doesn't require any cooking. Start with foods that need water added to them or need to be cooked, then you could end up with a bigger problem on your hands than just being able to make a meal and deal and figure out what to do next. So make sure you have a 3-day supply minimum of foods that are just open and eat. Then you can go ahead and add foods that you just add water or just need to cook a little bit, and those are great foods to have to shore up your pantry and fill in your long-term food supply so that you have plenty going forward. Don't stop at the minimum. Start with the minimum and build your food storage a little at a time. Every time you go to the store or you have an opportunity to shop, stock up on something else. Keep putting things aside until you have a nice supply. There are all kinds of reasons why we might have emergencies and shortages, and you don't want to find that you didn't supply enough food to feed your family in any situation. Once you have a nice supply of food, make sure you have the items you need to help provide safe meals for yourself. Get a simple camping stove. A butane stove is only like $20. Then make sure you have some extra fuel canisters. You can get something as simple as a few cans of Sterno. You can even go to the Dollar Tree and look for the little cans of Fancy Heat. It's like Sterno. You remove the lid, there's a wick, you light it. It's like an alcohol stove, and you can use this to heat food for about 2 hours. Look for them where they have the party supplies. You're also going to need things like paper plates, plastic utensils, cups. Don't forget the can opener. And I'll put a link to a video I made on how to do dishes when there's little to no running water. That might give you some ideas on how you can continue to serve meals when there's little or no water in emergency situations, or even if you're just camping. When there's food going in, there's food going out. Make sure you have toilet paper. Get some paper towels and some trash bags. Look for the white drawstring bags because they're great for mealtime cleanup. They're also wonderful to use in a portable toilet if you needed to use one of those in an emergency. I'll put a link to a video I made about how to use a portable toilet which would be called a luggable loo or a honey pot, in case you need to have that in an emergency situation. And giant big black garbage bags, the sturdiest ones you can find, are always great. There are so many things you can do with a big black plastic bag for any kind of an emergency, besides just taking out the trash. So make sure you stock up on these critical items that can see you through all types of emergencies. The next item that FEMA recommends you have is a radio. For an emergency radio, I like the Eaton Scorpion. It's lightweight and it is multifunctional. Not only does it crank up as a radio, it has AM, FM, it has a built-in flashlight, it has a carabiner clip on it, and you could have it handy wherever you decide to go. You can have a USB port so you could charge up your cell phone if you needed it. The next item you need is a flashlight. Do not just have one. You need to have a flashlight for every person in your family. You should have them scattered around in your car, in your bug out bag, in your get home bag, and every place that you would want to see if the lights went out. It's very important that you not only have a variety of flashlights, but that you also have the batteries that go with them. My favorite is this USB rechargeable. It has a USB rechargeable end. You can plug it in. Any place you can plug in a USB, you can recharge this flashlight. Headlamps are also a great kind of a flashlight to have. You put them on your head, turn them on, your hands are free for any task that you need to do. Beyond flashlights, maybe you want to get some lanterns. You can get them even at the Dollar Tree, and you can get USB rechargeable battery operated lanterns. I also like to have an oil lamp with extra oil, some extra wicks. Glow sticks are a great light to have around children because they're not going to set anything on fire, and they can go all night long if they need some comfort if the power goes out and they need to try to go to sleep.
Look over the emergency supply list that FEMA recommends that you have. Make sure you have everything on there, including some cash, your important family documents. Have complete changes of clothing for everyone in your family, sleeping bags and warm blankets. Have first aid supplies and any medications that you require. Then realize this is just the basics, absolute basics. If FEMA is only telling you to have supplies for 3 days, what is going to happen to you after the 3 days? That's when you need to prepare yourself. Do you want to then be reliant on FEMA, or do you want to be reliant upon yourself? The plans that you make today will determine what your future is. If you make no plan, you plan to fail. If you want to survive and thrive in emergency situations, up your game with prepping. Start with this absolute basics and then keep going, building your stockpile of all the food and supplies that you would require so that you can take care of yourself no matter what. FEMA tells you to prepare, plan, and stay informed. That is critically important information. Let us know in the comments below what other supplies do you think we should have on hand. I hope that you'll like and share my video, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.